Represents the heavily Republican 6th Congressional District. Congressman Peter Roskam joins us now. And is that ticket of Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan going to help your colleagues that are facing tough contests?
Absolutely. I mean, Mitt Romney is the turnaround candidate that can turn the economy around. And I think the way that he campaigned through his primary and presenting himself as a business-oriented turnaround candidate is very attractive. Paul Ryan, with whom I serve on the Ways and Means Committee and serve in Congress, has represented a competitive district in southeastern Wisconsin for the past 14 years. And this is a district that votes for Democrats for president and Paul Ryan for Congress. So one of the things that you see is a very excited Republican base that is encouraged by Paul Ryan being on the ticket, but also a lead that's really buried is Paul has an unbelievable crossover appeal to independent voters.
Still, the Democrats were thrilled when they saw him nominated here at the Obama headquarters a few blocks away in downtown Chicago. They were thrilled that day because they say his Medicare plan and his budget plan is something that when they poll on the individual pieces, voters hate.
The Democrats were thrilled and pleased to be running against Ronald Reagan back in 1980, and they fundamentally misread the mood of the country, and they're fundamentally misreading the mood of the country today. Where Paul Ryan is able to be not being defensive about a budget that makes sense, he's using that as a tool and going out and drawing a very sharp contrast with President Obama. Marco Rubio in the state of Florida ran on the Ryan budget and won in the state that has more seniors than any state in the union.
Speaking of Florida, you're heading there shortly to take part in the Republican National Convention this week. These are very stage-managed affairs. You know what the message is going to be. What's the message?
The message is let's turn this economy around as quickly and as wisely as we possibly can, and let's live within our means. You'll see a very stark contrast with President Obama's stewardship of the economy and kind of a recognition that the country gave President Obama the benefit of the doubt in 2008. My district did, but the president is polling nowhere near he did where he was in 2008. And so what you're going to be seeing
in 2008, you had a website you set up that got mocked by the Democrats. It was called Obama Voters for Roskam.
That's right.
And is there going to be a website like that this time?
There's not going to be a website like that this time because we don't think that there's going to be Obama voters.
What are your poll numbers showing?
Look, the president got 57%, if my memory serves me correctly. He's now in the mid-40s.
In your district?
In my district. And if you're a leading Democrat across the country and you're soft in suburban Chicago, that means you've got problems in suburban Denver, in suburban Raleigh, and all of these other suburban
Cleveland and Cincinnati and Columbus.
Okay. All of these swing states.
On abortion, you know, the Todd Akin flap in Missouri has put a spotlight on a number of Republicans. And you, Congressman Roskam, have in the past supported a legislation and a constitutional amendment, I think, that would not provide for a rape or incest exemption. What's your position today? Is that still your position?
My position today has not changed. I've had the same position for 20 years, and that was Henry Hyde's position. And I'm pro-life, so there's no doubt about it. The Todd Akin story is not a helpful event on the GOP side. My hunch is that Todd Akin, over a period of time, is probably going to take the advice of Mitt Romney and others, and that is to remove himself.
You think he'll get out?
Why do you think that, though? I mean, he would have gotten out by now. He's been hammered mercilessly, and there was a lot of pressure put on him already. Why is he going to get out between now and Election Day?
I think the polling isn't going to bear him out. I think he's going to find out that he can't win this election. Look, there's two people that want Todd Akin in this race. One is Todd Akin, and one is his opponent,
Claire McCaskill. So look, let's take this back to the three suburban hot contests. Joe Walsh versus Tammy Duckworth, Judy Biggert versus Bill Foster, and then Bob Dole versus Brad Schneider. The Democrats in each case are trying to hang Todd Akin around their Republican opponent.
That's tough to do. I mean, all three of those individuals have their own well-spoken positions and thoughtful positions.
Well, Congressman
that they've
Walsh
obviously
has the same position on abortion that you and Mr. Akin have. Judy Biggert is pro-choice, and Bob Dole is somewhat pro-choice. But is that going to harm the generic Republican?
I don't think so. I think when it all comes down to it, there are suburban voters that are looking at this economy and they're saying, we were misled at best. And we gave the President of the United States the benefit of the doubt. He told us the stimulus was going to stimulate the economy. It hasn't. We are now seeing $16 trillion in debt. Our children are coming back and living in our basements because they're not able to get jobs. And it's an incredibly significant, disappointing thing. They want to see an economy that's turning around. They want to see American energy produced here. And they want to see a healthcare system that is remedied where costs are brought down and pre-existing conditions are dealt with, but not in ways that bankrupt Medicare.
All right, Congressman Roskam, we'll
Always
see you
a
down
pleasure.
in Tampa.
Yeah,
Look forward to having breakfast and lunch with you down there.
Thank you.